So we're cutting the mullet off,
Yeah.
trim enough off the top to comb it back, right?
Yeah.
And then a fade or a taper?
I'm thinking of fade.
Fade? All right. If you hear me talking to myself, don't mind me, man. I got the mic on so I can, it's easier for me to explain it while I'm doing it
Yeah.
than to record it and then go over it. But you can feel free to say whatever you want. All right, so I'm gonna start with a section in the front of the head, working my way back. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up a section of hair. And he says he just wants enough to be able to comb back, so we're gonna cut probably about half of this off. Set in my first guideline, and I'm gonna follow that all the way back. And then he's cutting the mullet off, so I'm not worried about carrying it all the way down. We're gonna cut that off here in a minute. So now that my guideline's in there, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start setting in my sections coming the opposite way, but still working my way back. So as you can see, all this extra hair is what's gonna get cut off. And we're just gonna do that all the way to the back. I just find that it's easier for me to section my hair this way, setting that initial guideline, either going back or going forward, because y'all see me do it coming forward, but when they comb their hair back, I like to set my guideline coming back first, and then setting my sections the opposite way, working my way back. All right, now I'm gonna do the same thing to this side of the head. Everything that's longer than my initial guideline is what's getting cut. As y'all can see, all this hair is longer than my guideline, so I'm making sure that I cut that off. And then we're gonna work our way all the way back, then work our way over a little more. All right, now I'm gonna blow dry his hair a little bit just so it's not so wet when I actually start trying to fade it in. All right, so now it's mostly dry. Didn't worry about drying it all the way. Just wanted to get it a little more dry than what it was. I'm gonna go ahead and debulk the sides. I'm gonna go in with my clipper, and I'm gonna take my number 4 guard. Go ahead and start debulking all this extra hair. Make sure we cut this mullet off. So as y'all can see, the closer I get to my parietal ridge, I'm making sure I float that clipper away. I could go straight up, but I'm just a little extra with it, and I want to make sure I'm floating it away slightly. That way it's a little easier for me to blend when it comes to actually blending this part into the top. And we're just gonna do this all the way around the head. And as you can see, I'm using my comb to help feed the hair into the clipper also, because sometimes some guards or some clippers and certain texture of hair, the hair doesn't want to get fed into the clipper and the guard. So I like to take my comb and basically just use that to feed the hair into my clipper. Too stupid. What do y'all normally do?
I don't know. It depends. They might call me back to work. I don't know yet.
Damn, already?
Yeah. I know they got some work going on. It's just,
You got a lot of work then, or the company does?
yeah, they're supposed to have a lot of work at the beginning.
All right, now that that is done, I'm gonna go ahead and take my trimmer. I'm gonna go ahead and set in my first initial guideline. We're gonna be doing about a mid fade, so we're not gonna go too high. We're not gonna go too low. We're gonna keep it about the mid of the head. And you can punch in your zero line with the clipper, with the trimmer facing this way, or you could just come up and do it this way. Honestly, in my opinion, it ends up being about the same. I know some people say when you punch that line in with the trimmer holding this way, that it's harder to get that line out. Sometimes it is, sometimes it ain't, but sometimes, well, I think it's just based on the texture of the hair, so I'm really not too worried about that. And we're just gonna do this all the way around my client's head.
Yeah.
And remember, guys, I really don't focus on my guideline being too straight, because we're gonna go ahead and fade this out anyway, so I don't like to waste time on making this line super straight. As long as it's straight for the most part, we're gonna be all right. We're gonna fade it out anyway, so it really don't matter. All right, now I'm gonna take my shaver. I'm gonna go ahead and come right under that. And the closer I get to my initial bald guideline, I'm making sure that I use a slight flick out motion and that I relieve a little bit of pressure, because if you press on the head too hard with the shaver, it's gonna make that line really hard to get out. And we wanna eliminate extra steps and really eliminate anything that we can. That way we can make this fade blend in a lot easier. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and go on with my clipper all the way open, setting in another guideline. And we're gonna come up about 3/4 of an inch or so. We wanna give ourselves enough room to blend this all together. But at the same time, we don't want this fade to look too compressed, so that's why I say about 3/4 of an inch. If you do a smaller section, the fade will look more compressed, so the bigger the section is, the more stretched the blend will look. Now I'm gonna go on with my one guard lever open, setting in another section, still using a slight flick out motion. Now I'm gonna go on with my 1.5 guard lever open, setting in another section, and then after this, I'm gonna start to blend down. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some clipper over comb, and I'm gonna start blending this weight line into what I just did. And I like to go on with my clipper closed. I know some people go on with their clipper open, and you can. It's a little more safer if you go with the clipper open, a little more forgiving. You can also put a guard on there, like a number 1 or a number 2, in case you are really trying to be more cautious of what you're doing. I'm gonna clean the top of this hair with my shears here in a minute, but I'm just gonna go ahead and start attacking this blend a little more. So I'm taking my 3 guard lever closed, clean up this part of the blend a little bit. And it doesn't need a lot of work, you know what I'm saying? I just really want to touch it up a little bit before I start working on those bottom sections. I'm gonna grab my number 2. I'm gonna do the same thing. However, I'm gonna start with my clipper all the way open first. And then close my lever. And then just really just adjusting my lever as needed. As y'all saw me do there, I am just doing some slight lever play just to get this blend to look better. Now I'm gonna go with my 1.5 guard lever closed. Now I'm going in with my one guard lever closed, and I'm gonna start hitting up this line right here. And if I do happen to leave another line with this, then I'll just open up my clipper, do some corner blending to try to blend this all together before I move on. So that's what I'm doing here, lever open. A little bit of cleanup work. Then I'm going with my half guard, halfway open. And I'm just really just tapping at this line now. I don't want to go too high up into this section because I will create another line. So I'm just tapping at this line using a slight flick out motion. And then once that's done, I'm gonna close my lever all the way and really just barely tap at that line. All right, now that that is done, I'm going with my clipper halfway open, and I'm gonna start attacking this bottom line. Working my way basically halfway into this section. All right, so once that is done, I'm gonna go ahead and close my lever all the way and attack this bottom line. Now this may or may not get this line out completely, and if it doesn't, it's all good. I'll just go in with my trimmer and use the corner of my trimmer to try to get this line out. But we still got some discrepancies in it, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do some slight lever play in this section before I move on to my trimmer. And if y'all are wondering what lever play is, if y'all don't know exactly what it is, it's basically just adjusting the lever as needed when you see certain spots in a blend. Some may be longer, some may be shorter, some spots may be looking darker than others, so you have to adjust your lever and use the corner of your blade to really give the illusion that it's all the same length and it's all nice and faded. I'm gonna go ahead and go on with my trimmer now, and I'm gonna hit this bottom line. And as y'all can see, I am using just the corner of my blade. And the reason for that is I don't want to take off too much hair and basically have to do some reblending. So now that that is done, I got the trimmer in my hand. I'm gonna go ahead and start to line him up in front. I'm gonna go ahead and push his hair back, start off in the middle of his hairline, and then work my way towards his vertical bars. And we really don't want to push his hairline back at all. We really want to just follow what he has, but make a nice dominant line. Then we're gonna hit that vertical bar. Same thing, not trying to go into the hairline, trying to keep it as natural as possible, but still make it look sharp. I like to start my C-cups towards the point. And then I'm gonna set in the line at the bottom of the sideburn, or the sideburn area, and then I'm gonna connect those two lines. So now I'm gonna go ahead and attack the top of this blend area. And what I'm gonna be doing is I'm actually gonna be doing some blending shears, where I'm actually using my texturizing shears over comb. And I'm just really gonna be attacking these ends. I don't wanna take off too much length. I just wanna attack the ends. If you go too far deep into doing this, like if I push this all the way here and I cut all that off, the haircut will look really choppy in that section. And obviously that's not something we want to do, so you want to make sure we're really just tapping the ends little by little, combing it back, seeing how it looks before we move on. So when it comes to detail work, guys, you just got to use whatever guards you feel is necessary. I'll move on to my two. And when it comes to detailing, it's a lot quicker. You don't got to do this, be as precise with it. You're just tapping at certain areas, tapping at dark spots, trying to clean everything up and make everything look nice and neat and nice and even. And I could go with my 1.5 guard, but honestly, I know my one lever open is going to take care of this area right here. And this is the area that I kind of see that's kind of bothering me. So one guard open, start off by using the corner, and then flatten my clipper little by little to see what it does. And then close my lever also. And that's that part of the blend. We're gonna go ahead and go to the opposite side. I'm not gonna talk on this side, I can just follow along.
Damn it, Tito.
Yeah. Alright guys, so check it out. This is how my boy came into the shop looking. And this is the finished product. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comment section. If y'all like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if new to my channel, make sure and subscribe one time for your boy. Remember guys, if you like any of these tools that I was using, I am using Babyliss products in this video. So you can go to BabylissPro.com, use my discount code TANK10, save yourself a little bit of money, you know what I'm saying? And yeah man, y'all have any questions, comments, concerns about this cut, or anything barber related, haircut related, or YouTube related, make sure to put that down in the comment section. I'll make sure to get back to you as soon as I can. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok. It's at tank_b_chopping. And that's basically it, YouTube. I appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time, let's go. Yeah.